Hey everyone, Ron Hedding here. If you've been charged with murder in Los Angeles, the stakes are the highest. You need the best. Let me put my 30+ years of experience to fight for your rights. Early in my career, I had a murder case in the Van Nuys court. My client was charged with killing a madam related to a deadly call girl ring. I'll never forget it because there was a guy who kept coming to court. It turned out he was a writer for Playboy. He set the whole thing up. He did a whole article on it. But when I walked into the courtroom for the first court appearance, the prosecutor came up to me. She was an older woman, seasoned, experienced. She took a piece of paper and she slammed it into my chest. Talk about trial by fire. She said, "You'll enjoy that." I look at it, it's DNA evidence. Basically, they got a boot from my client's apartment that had the victim's blood on it. So that was one of their key pieces of evidence. Plus, they got the other defendant, the woman related to the madam, to testify against my client. So we came up with a defense, and the prosecutor kept asking me, "So what's your defense gonna be?" And I said, "I'm not gonna tell you what my defense is gonna be." There was scratches across the woman's face, so we basically blamed it on the girlfriend. And it was a battle in Van Nuys. We did everything we could. We pulled out all the stops. When it comes to fighting the government, you've got to be prepared and you've got to do everything you can for the client. So this next case is a murder case out of Norwalk. At the time they called it Nowalk. This was many years ago. I had a client. He goes into a bar with his two friends. A fight ensues. He's charged with murder. He admits that he fired the very weapon that they ballistically could match the bullet from that weapon to the bullet inside the victim. And we end up being forced to go to trial and get the not guilty verdict. What an incredible result for the client. I was so certain that he had such a problem in the case. I went to the head DA and I said, "Look, my client will take a murder charge. He'll plead to a 15 to life charge." And the prosecutor was so greedy, he said, "No, the offer's 25 to life." I said, "Even if we go to trial and we lose, he's gonna get 25 to life. Why would he take that deal?" I said, "Okay, you wanna test this case? Let's see what you got." So I dug my feet in and I came up with the best defense, because this was a case where my client had given a statement and he admitted that he fired the very weapon that they could ballistically match, that the bullet was inside the victim. So this was a case where you had a big problem. But you know what? They had a cooperator in the case. This is three guys. They go into a bar, they get in a fight, shooting occurs, and somebody ends up dead. One of the defendants went to Patton State Hospital. He's not in the trial. The other defendant now is going to turn state's evidence and testify against my client. The problem was, I tried to tell the prosecutor, I tried to tell the judge, you know what? There's a problem with the interpretation. They didn't like it. They didn't believe me. They said, "That's a certified interpreter. We're letting the Spanish interpretation in." Meanwhile, this cooperating witness had said something to the effect, "I fired the weapon," and it wasn't interpreted properly, but that's the way it came out at the preliminary hearing. So I was able to get that statement in, and I was able to impeach him with that statement. Said, "You said you fired the weapon." He goes, "Oh no, I didn't say that." I go, "Look, it's right here under penalty of perjury." That was used to impeach him. That, combined with the fact there was no GSR on my client's hand, and the fact that my client said that he had fired the gun down on the ground and there was a mark on the ground that looked like a bullet hole, that was enough to get the not guilty verdict. So the head prosecutor is in the courtroom to watch the verdict. He's now going to get my guy. Meanwhile, my guy was found not guilty. No time, walked out of the courtroom. That's what I'm talking about. Hard work, perseverance, skill, and not giving up. I had an attempted murder case in San Bernardino County. My client was facing his entire life in prison, and we got the job done. I got that not guilty verdict. I attacked the prosecutor's case, and I took it apart. After he sat in custody waiting for trial for 5 years, the other attorney didn't do anything. I came in 60 days and got him the result. And I told him, "Listen, we may lose a few of these little wars, but in the end, we're going to win the entire battle." And that's what we did. That was the key to maintain our composure, take the case apart piece by piece. That brother-in-law did not see who shot him. He had his back turned to the shooter, but he thought my client did it. So he was trying to add facts that were not supported. And I took his testimony apart, piece by piece. And once his credibility went, so went the prosecutor's case. Not guilty verdict. He sat in there for 5 years. They had to let him out. He's out now. He's enjoying his life. I got that case ready, and I got the job done.
I'm telling you guys right now, do not go inside this building or any other courthouse without Ronald Hedding. This is the man right here.
Thank
you.
Hey,
You got me out of that.
Send me some partying pictures, man.
I got your direct line.
All right, sounds good, brother.